Hello YouTube, I am making a spur of the moment video predicting every single House race in the upcoming midterms, and I'm doing this to remind you that tomorrow is the last day to register to vote. You need to check your registration because voter purges are becoming more and more common, especially in states with Republican legislators and Secretary of States like Georgia. Also, tomorrow's the last day in Georgia. It might be different in other states. So let's just get to it. And to explain real quick, I am using the very common rating system of if they win by more than 15 points, it's solid. The next one is between 5 and 15. The next one is between 1 and 5. And then the last one is less than 1 point. Right? Okay. So, I don't even remember the numbers, but this district, solid blue. And then John Golden, I think, is going to win re-election pretty easily, even though it's a Trump voting district. And then I think these are going to come down to something like this in New Hampshire. Vermont's safe. I think every single district in Massachusetts is going to be completely safe. And Rhode Island basically very similar. And I think you're going to get something like this in Connecticut. Okay, New York. New York has a lot of safe blue districts in it. Not this one. This one I think is going to be like that. This one's going to be like that. I'm kind of speed running this. I don't want to hold you right now. You're going to get something pretty close right there. You're going to get something like that over there. Staten Island, In my redistricting video, I kept calling it Coney Island. Little dumbass. Alright. I think, what's his head? No, that's not his district. I think this one. Ooh, I'm going to leave it solid blue. Yeah. And I think this one's going to be real tight, real close. Ooh, forgot to say, since before the redistricting maps were out, I said, my prediction is Republicans win the House by 1 seat, and that's still my prediction. Now, I haven't gone through and listed every single district by district, so let's see if my on the surface prediction lines up with my race by race prediction. Yeah, I think it's going to be something like that. Okay. Ooh. Francis Connell is their Democrat here. It's an open seat because it used to be John Katko's district. New governor, New York. There we go. That's a tough call. That could easily go to the Republican in that race. I forgot his name, like Brandon something. I don't know. New Jersey. You got a lot of safe blue in the New Jersey map. Even though, the Democrats had control here. That's why they shored up all these blue seats. But they screwed over Tom Malinowski, who I think is going to lose by a pretty small margin. But I still think he's going to lose, which is that didn't have to happen. Let's see, Summer Lee's going to win. You're going to have that. I think Matt Cartwright's going to do really good for a red district like that. I think Susan Wild is going to win re-election despite getting fucked in redistricting. Let's see. I think this guy is going to win pretty handedly for a toss-up seat. And then, it's going to be something like this. Delaware, easy blue. Let's see. I think, what's his name? Kildee? Is that his name? Daniel Kildee, or is that the guy in Michigan? That's the one in Michigan. This is I can't think of his name, but I think he's going. Despite it being a red district now, after the Maryland Supreme Court threw out the old map, I still think he's going to win pretty decently. I think people care about the abortion issue a lot, and I think that's going to show in the outcomes in this election. Is that right? Which ones? Which ones were close? I think it's this one that is a little. The Democrats are going to easily win, but it just won't be by over 15 points. It might be Kwesi's district. I don't remember. Let's see. Easy dubs for the Republicans over here in Western Virginia and in West Virginia. And they're going to win these, of course. Or is it this one? It's this one, yeah. And this one's blue. And this one's blue. That's going to be an easy dub right there. Might be a little closer, but still, Democrats are going to win. I think Elaine Luria is going to pull through. It's same situation as Susan Wild, but I think she's going to pull through. She's a good incumbent. And I think the American people, and specifically Virginians, recognize that, even people who typically vote Republican. Okay. Ohio. It's going to be something like this. This one's going to be closer. Yeah. Marcy Kaptur's got that race. I'm pretty confident in Marcy Kaptur winning re-election here. Fucking, what's his name? Jakuski? Whatever. The fucking Republican guy, he's off his fucking rocker. Lied about being in the military. Like, the Republicans unendorsed him. They took the money out of the race, which they never do that. I mean, they're still fucking supporting Herschel Walker, who is absolutely insane and a criminal. And yet they still give him money and support him. But they pulled their money out of this race. He's too extreme even for the extremist party in the United States. Wild shit. Okay, this is Daniel Kildee's district, and I think he's going to win. Same thing with Elise Slotkin. I think... Actually, these races I think are going to be probably something like this. It's probably... Yeah. This one might narrow up in Slotkin's district, but I still think she's going to win. Yeah. This one might narrow up. Yeah, I think... Yeah. I feel pretty good about that. Unfortunately, what's his head? Ron Kind is not running for re-election. And so the guy running now is just not that great of a candidate. I think his name is Brad Pfaff. Which, Pfaff. P-F-A-F-F. Bruh, that's why you're going to lose, dog. I mean, I like some of his campaign ads, I do, but, come on, man. What's her name? I don't know. But this competitive toss-up district, I think it's easily going to go to the Democratic incumbent by more than anyone would expect, because Minnesotans don't fuck around. And here's something interesting. The Dakotas. Both Dakotas have independents running instead of Democrats. South Dakota, I don't think is going to matter. But North Dakota, I think, is still going to go to the Republican. But I think, Miss America, what's her name? Oh, she was Miss America. Mund. Kara Mund. I think Kara Mund is going to make this more competitive. But it's such a red state that it's not going to work. It's not going to flip, I don't think. But it's still going to be like, wow, I can't believe that happened, I think it's going to be... I think it's very funny. I think Iowa is going to look exactly like this, each one being at a different level of competitiveness. And if not, then I think it's going to either be like this, or it's going to be with Cindy? I don't know. Axney is her last name. slightly squeaking by, but I don't think so, because it's the same statistical amount of Republican voters is 2% Republican, which is the same as her old district, but it's different voters. She had a different part of Iowa, so while it's the same statistical number, it's different people, and so I think they're not going to care that she's the incumbent, because they're not. She's not really their incumbent, you know. I think Gary's gonna be scarily competitive. The district that Gary, Indiana's in, I think, it should be solid blue, but the voters are fucking around there. I think that's how it's gonna be. Oh, safe, because Illinois is gerrymandered to hell and back. So it's gonna be something like this, maybe a little bit more on that one, maybe like that. And you're gonna see these districts be a little competitive, but I mean, for the most part, Chicago is blue, especially since this is like the only example of a Democratic gerrymander, basically. Okay, Missouri is solid red, unfortunately. Sorry for that noise. My dog is, doing dog stuff. Come on, man. There we go. Don Bacon, who will have no time getting reelected. Ooh, I think Sharice Davids is going to get reelected by a scary margin, but still a margin that will win her the seat. Let's see, Arkansas is fucked. Oklahoma is fucked. Let's see. I think the voters in North Carolina I think Democratic voters in North Carolina are gonna really turn out. It's not gonna be enough to win this district that Wiley Nickel is running. I think Bo Hines is gonna take this district probably by a decent statistical amount, but districts that would otherwise be competitive for Democrats are going to be pretty safe. Sorry about that. Before I got on here, I was eating my fucking breakfast, and I was like, I should do this, so that's why. Oh man, and I'm hungover. My life's falling apart, but it's alright, it's all good. Blue, 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 blue. That's how the South is, man. Gerrymandered to hell. You get one blue district in these southern states, and that's it. That is it. Not even this district man. Yeah, I mean, it's fucked. Racist gerrymandering, and racism in general, because in the South, actually, no, not in the South, all over the country, white voters typically vote Republican, and black voters typically vote Democrat. It's just you see that more in the South because there are more black people in the South, so it's more noticeable. It's fucked up. The reason that is racism. That is, Republicans run on racist values. They appeal to white voters. And I'm sorry to my friend Antonio Daza, who's running in District 11. Great guy, friend of mine. I don't think he's going to push much because of redistricting. I don't think he's going to turn the tides. Great candidate, just bad district, Gerrymandering fucked up Georgia. Let me tell you. I think Sanford Bishop's going to be fine, though, despite how competitive it's supposed to be. I think voters just understand how good of a congressperson he is. I mean, he really delivers for rural Georgia, and I think especially black voters are going to turn out for people like Warnock and Abrams, and so that's going to help Bishop win by more than he probably otherwise would, like in a different year. Good incumbent. Florida, redistricting, it's literally illegal what they did, and next election, the map is going to be different than this one. It's just, for some reason, the court said, you have to keep this map, even though it's illegal, because it's too close to the election. So, yeah, this is a fucked up gerrymander right here. It is, like, truly fucked up gerrymander. And to be more specific, you see all these states have one, it's because these are where black voters are. The Voting Rights Act ensures that you have to have a majority-minority district. And while Florida does have majority-minority districts in Miami that are Hispanic, you also have to account for the large percentage of black people that live in North Florida. South Florida, you have a lot of Hispanic people. And the Voting Rights Act protects them too, but just because they're Hispanic districts doesn't mean there isn't also have to be a black district, which there used to be. It used to stretch from Tallahassee to Jacksonville. And the Republican legislature was like, how about, instead of doing that, how about we put it all in Jacksonville? So the district is entirely Jacksonville, and Tallahassee gets a red representative, and which screws over the incumbent who lives in Tallahassee. But who's that? Al Franken? No, not Al Franken. Al Lawson. My bad. Screws him over because he lives in Tallahassee, but a Democrat would still win in the new district, just one that lives in Jacksonville. But their governor, fascist Ron DeSantis, said, no, I just won't sign it. I just won't agree to it unless you get rid of the black district. And so they did. And the Supreme Court said, that's illegal. But we're not going to do anything about it until 2024. So, shit sucks. America's going down a bad path. Let me tell you what. Woodrow Wilson vibes, you know what I'm saying? Alright. Think Miami's gonna be fairly solid. Texas. Texas is known as the most gerrymandered state in the country. And that is true. It remains to be true to this day. It was true last decade, and it is true this decade. Because in case you don't know, redistricting happens every 10 years. Unless there's a fuck up. Oh, man. I'm getting, there's so many safe red districts in Texas. I'm trying to get them out the way without accidentally clicking on a blue district. They're just safe all the way. It's all the way through. Okay, there's supposed to be how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 there. Is it 4 or 3? How many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this one's supposed to be 3. Oh yeah, I remember it fucking cuts right through the city. It looks ridiculous. But yeah, just solid red across the board, except for the solid blue districts. They cram all the Democrats and all the Republicans into the same district, even if they have to do shit like that, and shit like this between Austin and San Antonio. They're just like, San Antonio, Austin, fuck it, put them together. Oh, it's gross. It gives me, the bad kind of goosebumps when I look at a map like this. Mayra Flores is the Republican incumbent here. It's a much more blue district now, but she's still putting up a hell of a fight. I think Hispanic Texans on the border are sick of Democrat shit and inaction, and I think that's why she won in the first place. And I think that's why it's still kind of competitive now, because Democrats aren't delivering for that base of voters, and that's why they're turning away, and they have been turning away for years. I wish it wasn't true. I know that some Democrats do care and deliver for Hispanic people in their districts. Bernie Sanders is a great example. He's in the Senate, so he serves the whole country, but, he cares very deeply about the real issues that Hispanic people face in the United States. But it's just, I don't know, Democrats are fucking up, that's what I'm saying. Especially these dumbasses down here like Henry Cuellar. Piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. Honestly, I wouldn't be too sad if he lost, but I don't think he's going to lose. I think Michelle Vallejo is going to pull this motherfucker out. I thought this whole time, I've been saying this whole time, since I saw the new Texas map, that there's no way a Democrat's going to win there this year because it's a midterm election with a Democratic president. But the polling shows she's in the lead. She's a great progressive candidate who actually delivers for the people that live there, even outside of politics. Like, when I say that, because she works in the community she lives in, good person. I think she's going to win, which is a huge turnaround for Democrats. Huge. I'm going to go ahead and get fucking West Coast out the way, because Hawaii, easily blue. I think Mary Peltola is going to win re-election, which is surprising. As soon as she won, I was like, that's it. God is real, I guess. Because we have an indigenous woman representing Alaska. An indigenous Alaskan woman, Democrat, representing Alaska. After Alaska being a red state for so long. And I think she's going to win again. And that has data to back it up. If Sarah Palin dropped out, I think Nick Breggage would easily win. But Sarah Palin's crazy and isn't going to drop out, and because of ranked choice voting, which is a great, more fair system, Mary Peltola is going to win. Because Republican voters would rather have a Democrat than have Sarah Palin. That's why ranked choice voting is more fair, is they vote for Nick Breggage. The crazy ones vote for Sarah Palin. They split the vote. And so then it's like, okay, now it's Mary Peltola versus Sarah Palin, who got more of the vote at first. And the people who voted for Nick Breggage, instead of putting Sarah Palin as their number 2, they put Mary Peltola, because they don't want Sarah Palin. So, yeah. God's bless Mary Peltola for that one. W's everywhere. W's everywhere. Unfortunately, I think Tom O'Halloran is not going to be able to win a re-election. It's going to be really, really close, though. But with the toss-up seat, I forgot the incumbent's name, I think he's going to win by a lot more than a toss-up margin. I think these shouldn't be solid blue, but they are. Maybe this one could go like that. Actually, I think that's better. I think Yvette Harrell is going to win by a very small amount. Maybe not. Maybe like that. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. Too confident. Either way, it's a dub for Republicans. I think, what's her name? Calaveo? Yadiria Calaveo. I think the Democrat is underperforming in Colorado, unfortunately. This should have been a pickup. I know it's statistically a red district, but in a year like this, in a state like Colorado, I think it should have been a pickup, but I don't think it's going to be. I think I'm going to put it like that. It's another year, a better year for Democrats. Well, this is a good year for Democrats. I guess better candidate? I don't know. Colorado has interesting voters. I don't know. They're going to turn out, probably. This is Bobert's district, right? Bobert's struggling in the polls. I don't know if I feel confident doing that. I mean, it doesn't change the outcome, but no, I don't. I don't feel confident doing that. I know some of the polling says that she's not going to win, but I just don't believe that. I just don't believe that. I do think Democrats have a chance to make this seat competitive this year, but not enough to win, but still enough to build a nice base of voters, We're going to see something like this in Washington for Republicans, and Oregon, you're going to see that. Unfortunately, I don't think Skinner's going to win. I think Skinner's a good candidate, but it's just, Oregon is another one of those states where they're kind of sick of Democrats not delivering, which sucks, but I get it. I think Schreier, despite being in a toss-up district, will do very well. Nevada, red there, blue there, blue here, and I think Susan Lee is going to win, despite people being like, oh, she could lose. I don't think she's going to lose. Come on. In a competitive Senate race year, competitive governor's race year, no, Democrats are going to turn out and they're going to re-elect Susan Lee. I am pretty confident in that. It's going to be a tight race, but folks are I hear a lot of people freaking out about it. I'm not freaking out about it. All right, the big boy, California. Now we got blue there, blue here in San Diego. It tightens up here, but not really by a significant margin. Blue here, here, and here, and here, and here, and here. Then we have the Republican seats. Safe, slightly competitive, and then more competitive. I wish Michael Steele would lose, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I wish Young Kim would lose, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Actually, I think this whole area is conservative, but not that conservative. You know what I mean? So I think all of them are going to be like that. It's like the Republicans easily won, but it wasn't by a super safe margin. Not over 15 points. You can go ahead and characterize these. That's pretty easy. They are red districts. Just like that. Yep. Okay, and that's all the Republican seats in California. Yep. Spoiler alert, that's all the Republican seats. No, that's not true. I think Garcia is going to win. I think is going to win, but I think Valadeo is going to lose. I think, and I know 538 agrees with me there, and I hate that. I wish Garcia would lose. It doesn't make sense to me why people like him, but, pop off, queen. I might put Fresno like that. I think that's Fresno. Yeah, I'm pretty confident in that, and I'm going to make it, not safe, but still an easy dub. I think same thing here. That one might be more competitive, but still a victory. I think we're going to see something like this. Okay, wow. My prediction was really, really close. You know how I said I believed it would be 218 to 217? Well, it turns out my actual belief is it's going to be 219 to 216. So my on-the-surface prediction is very close to my individual race prediction. And, I can hope that I'm wrong. There are 5 seats that I put as hyper-competitive for the Republicans that any of them could flip or stay. Like Axney is an incumbent. Malinowski is an incumbent. O'Halloran's an incumbent. So any of those incumbents could win in those 3 races, and that would give Democrats the House. Garcia could lose. It's a very competitive race. Those are voters that vote for Joe Biden, that vote for Democrats for president, but they vote for Republicans for the House for some reason. So it could change. And then Oregon's, I think it's their 6th district. Maybe not. Do they even have 6 districts? Yes, they do. Whatever. Oregon's district that's competitive. It should be a blue district. Oregon voters are just weird. Not weird. That's the wrong way to say it. Oregon voters have different priorities. They have Oregon priorities, not the same priorities as what you'd think is a typical Democrat or Republican, you know. And so I can hope Skinner's going to pull it off, but I don't think it'll happen. And I can hope Axne O'Halloran and Malinowski can pull it off, but right now I don't think they will. And who's Christy Smith is running against Garcia, yeah. So this is my prediction. It's going to be a super tight House, but with Republican control. And, you know, and it could be worse than this. There are 9 hyper-competitive seats that I gave to the Democrats. One that I'm really not sure about, and that is this one, New York's 22nd. I am not super confident in Knoll winning there. I think New Yorkers are smart, generally. That could be wrong. The new district is pretty Democrat-leaning. I think that's why John Katko didn't run for re-election. I don't know. We'll see. We got less than a month to turn this ship around. And I mean that as in, if it wasn't obvious enough, I want Democrats to win. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I really didn't have a plan for this video. Make sure you're registered to vote. You can Google my voter page. Get involved. Become a poll watcher, poll worker. Fuck it. You know, do something with for democracy. You know, it's pretty cool. Democracy is pretty cool. Much better than a dictatorship. You know, there are things that, you know, democracy definitely, at least our version of democracy, is outdated and could be improved in a lot of ways. You know, and I don't like capitalism, and gerrymandering has fucked this country. But you know, what we have is still better than a complete dictatorship, which we're on the edge of if we let Republicans win. So, yeah. High stakes. Fun stuff. Actually, no, it's not fun. It's not fun stuff. It's very scary stuff. And especially as a queer person, I am terrified. And that's why I do the work I do. I do work in politics in my personal life. And I'm not going to stop until they kill me.